Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video is for the PvP tier list for 3.4.20. This tier list here is all only for R6. Every Esper here is R6. Previously I made it's a overall PvP tier list, but it's only at R2 potential. So there's a lot of Esper that have high potential at R6 won't able to get their rank, right? Because the previous one is more towards the majority of the player who is not long-term player, or they don't have R6 Esper invested yet. Then maybe their tier list will be more viable for them. But for this tier list, it's more about end game, like late game PvP content. Then this tier list will be all R6, right? But before I start, I want to go through a few things. I'm not really a PvP player. I do play PvP, but I'm not really good at team building for PvP content. Like in triple threats, I'm pretty weak with my team building comp. I'm more better. I'm more good in point war, like when you don't rely on too much of the team build, right? So yeah, with my PvP tier list, I won't be really that confident. So you can just take it with a grain of salt. But before that, let me share you about Bravel's PvP tier list. Alright, so this PvP tier list we're looking at now is made by Bravel, which is, if you're a server 1 to server 2 player, you'll probably see him in leaderboard, especially in knockout, beat bar, or maybe in point war. You'll see his rank. He's a very active PvP player. So yeah, so this is the tier list he made it out. He have almost every Esper R6, I guess, or maybe every single Esper R6. I'm not sure, but this is the tier list he made it out. So he have the highest tier, the actual fuck, the EX++, EX+, EX, S, A, B, C. So he ranked by this kind of method. Not similar than mine, because mine is more like what, niche, decent, strong. So you can take this as an example, because I think his point of view will be more accurate, since he plays PvP more. He has a lot R6 Esper, so he used the R6 Esper more, and he probably have a higher point of view for in terms of their full potential, right? Like for me, like personally for me, maybe I won't rate like Petro's EX plus, or maybe I'll put it EX, something like that, right? Maybe I'll put Mingshaw higher, because everyone have their own different team usage and different point of view at different range. Like for me, I'm usually at point war 20 to 22, but for Bravel is like point war 23 to 24 is his usual range. Alright, so now let's take a look at mine as well. You can go through his tier list. Okay, then I'll go through with mine. Alright, so if I'm going to go through with mine, let's go through one by one, right? So what the actual file is very powerful. Like if you have him, you're gonna have a very good experience in PvP content. Then meta is just as good as the highest tier, as game breaking as the highest tier, just that one tier lower. Then strong, decent, niche, bad. So niche here, like strong, decent, niche, bad is, to be honest, they are kind of almost at the same tier, but maybe based on the usage, right? Maybe if I use them more in triple threats, I'll put them in strong. If I don't use them at all, I'll put them in bad. If I use them sometimes, I'll put it in niche, something like this. So yeah, so maybe you can just focus at the WTAF tier, and the meta tier will do. Okay, so the first Esper, Elaine. So Elaine here, to be honest, in my own usage, her sleep is good, her S, like the multi-hit is good. Overall, I will put somewhere bad and niche. But yeah, I'll put it at niche, not until bad, because I still see she deals a lot of damage, like S3 just nuke someone, especially in warm-up match. But warm-up match is a content that is long lost in Dislyte. I don't know, like the previous warm-up match has been like so long ago. I don't even know if they're gonna rerun the content. But overall, I'll put her at niche. But in point war, like beat bar, knockout, triple threats, no usage for her. Okay, for Phaeton Sister, I would say is somewhere strong to decent, especially when you have Phaeton Sister at R6. I would say strong, just because I use Phaeton Sister pretty often in triple threats, because I like the revive of Phaeton Sister, especially when I need a lot of team comp in triple threat. I need like 10 team, right? And in terms of healer, where after I use up all my meta healer, then it's a very limited choice for me to pick like a healer Esper. So I'll put Phaeton Sister as strong for now. Maybe I'll put it at decent, but for now I'll put it as strong. Osana, I'll put it at bad. Like DPS, we have a lot more better DPS, so bad. Okay, for Lu Shang, I will put Lu Shang somewhere WTAF and meta. But personally, I'll put it WTAF. Like if you compare mine tier and Bravel one, maybe Bravel one will put Lu Shang one tier lower. But the reason why I put it so high is because I think the Accentuator buff is just too good. I think the safeguard is very good in the PvP. You can basically see almost every point war or maybe PvP content you're gonna see Lu Shang as well. The damage boost is very good, the 100% accuracy is very good, the safeguard comes in very handy as well. Definitely worth the WTF in my opinion. Alright, so Sakura. I'll put it at WTAF tier as well, or maybe meta. Maybe I'll move them down to meta as well after I go through. But I'll put Sakura at WTAF because one of the best defender healer we have, the best pairing with Wuyu. Extra stats, the healing is crazy. Her buff can block control effect as well. It's very good. So overall, I'll put it at this tier, and R6 makes it very strong. For Wunlock, I'll put it at meta. Like Wunlock is not as strong as like WTAF, but Wunlock comes in meta the moment you reach R6. You won't get counter attack, which means you will counter Momo, you will counter Wuyu through damage reflection, you will counter like Suitai, 100% counter attack chance, you will counter Anna, you will counter Nora, all these things. And above of that, Wunlock can counter Chu Yao. Wunlock have Dispel in his kit. Wunlock and the Dispel is 3 chance. It's an AoE Dispel with 3 hit and will reduce the enemy crit resist. It's going to be countering Chu Yao as well, and also have lifesteal in his build. So it's very strong, but only strong when you reach R6. Okay, then for Jinchu, I'll put it somewhere meta to strong at R6, but I'll put it at meta. For now, maybe I'll put it at strong. But based on the usage, maybe I'll put it at Jinchu higher because I still use Jinchu a lot, especially in triple trap. And there's a lot of team surrounding with Jinchu, and Jinchu actually get a lot of benefit with the level 70 as well. If you're a level 70 Jinchu user, probably you get what I mean, or maybe you face a Jinchu level 70 before, you also get what I mean. Because once he go until level 70, the shield that he get, the intimidate buff shield he get, is so thick. The HP make the shield so thick. You have high defense, your attack, you have high attack as well, your true damage skills with your attack and defense, and especially if you put Jinchu with Spirit Aegis on him, with Chu Yao, wow, it's going to be very annoying. Like, he's not going to be very strong like WTF tier, but I think he's still one of the meta Esper in my opinion. When he reached R6, it's still a very annoying Esper to deal with. Yeah. Overall, if I put Fatal Sister 1 tier lower, then I'll put Jinchu down 1 tier. But for now, I will leave it like this. Let's see how it goes, right? Then for Lien here, I'll put WTF as well. The most used healer as per tier. With misread with at the start of the combat, with healing at the start of the combat as well, is a very strong Esper. Alright, okay, then for Ophelia wise, kind of somewhere niche and decent, but I'll put it at niche for now. To be honest, not much usage for her as well. Okay, for Feng Shun, I'll put it at meta. The reason why I don't put Feng Shun at WTAF tier and is 1 tier lower is because Yuhime. Because Yuhime exists, it makes a lot of AP pusher Esper not going to be that viable because of Yuhime activeness. Yuhime is being used in a lot of teams, and if you use Feng Shun will be a downgrade for your team if enemy using a Yuhime team. So just because of the AP push, I'll put Feng Shun down. And because of Feng Shun, R6 give him a shield, will actually trigger army as well. So that's the reason why I put Feng Shun not at the highest tier. I'll put it at meta tier just because of this reason. R6 Elif, I'll put it at somewhere decent to strong. But I'll put it as strong because I really like to use R6 Elif in triple threats when I'm going for like a cleave team comp. Because Elif provides true damage, and usually I pair something like Elif plus maybe Shachiko plus Sujie, then the Elif S3 will just kind of like cleave them out. It's a very fun comp, but I think this comp will not be applying when we are facing a very strong club. So I'm not really sure of my suggestion for this part. But in my opinion, I would say I like R6 Elif. I like using R6 Elif in triple threats, so I'll put her as strong. Okay, then for Ethan here, I'll put it somewhere decent to strong as well. But I'll put it as strong because in triple threats, especially in triple threats, you when you are kind of out of like speed leader buff, This 20 speed actually come in very handy, and he provides immunity, which makes him very useful, and also the panic gaze also does a lot of damage as well, so I'll put it as strong. Suicide, I'll definitely put him up to WTF tier, one of the best meta esper we have now, like 100% counter attack chance, 100% lifesteal, 200% attack boost, 200% defense boost, and all. And he cannot get debuff, he can get golden realm buff. Definitely worth the WTF tier. And I think there's a lot of suicide users outside there as well. And he's actually doing very strong and very crazy. Okay, then for Ollie, I'll put him at decent. The reason why I put him at decent is actually the only comp that I use Ollie with is Ollie Mavis team. And I use this combo in triple threats. Ollie plus Mavis together, so if they'll target on Mavis and Ollie will try to protect Mavis. Something like this. Matthew, I'll put it at bad. Not much usage for PvP. Nora, I'll put it at somewhere strong to decent. Okay, but let's see. If that's the case, yeah, I'll put Nora at strong. Then I'll put Fatal Sister down to 1 tier, but yeah, let me adjust a bit, right? So Nora, I'll put it as strong. I like her counter attack, 100% chance. I like her true damage. It's not like true damage, but she ignore defense. So sometimes I use Nora to counter certain Wuyu team. If their Wuyu reso isn't that high, I will use Nora to counter them. Then for Yuran, I'll put bad. Nama, I'll put bad because in late game they are kinda pretty useless in terms of usage. Donna, I'll put at niche. Sometimes the bong is pretty useful. The immunity he can provide by himself is actually pretty useful as well. But depends on situation because he only has single target hit. So if you face Anna or if you face if your bong can't really kill people, it's not really that good. So overall, I'll put him in niche. Okay, then for Ahmed, I'll put him in niche as well. Time to time, I also use Ahmed as a healer for my team, actually doing pretty well for the heal as well. And you can also bypass the disease, and we currently have a lot of disease esper as well, and Ahmed actually perform pretty good for that case. So personally, I'll put it at niche because I use Ahmed time to time as well. Okay, then for Sienna here, I'll put it at niche as well, just for the speed leader buff, that's all. Like in triple threats, you're gonna need a lot of speed leader buff, and Sienna is one of the speed leader buff I'm gonna use, and R6 makes her able to stun 2 turns. It's gonna be very good. Okay, then for JV, I'll put him in bad. Gaius, I'll put him in bad. Farah, I'll put him at somewhere niche to decent, but I'll put at decent because I actually use Farah a lot often as well. Especially when I know that in triple threats I'm gonna get outspeed, I'm gonna use Farah to re-counter them by applying AoE freeze. Okay, Fatima, I don't have a R6 Fatima, so I can't really judge her a lot. But based on my observation, I think Fatima would be at bad tier, or maybe niche tier, depends, sorry. But I don't really have an R6 Fatima, so I'm not sure with this part. But based on my observation of looking at other people's team, I would say she's bad. But in my club, in Grandmaster Club, I see people actually use R6 Fatima to perform in PvP, so depends. Personally, for me, I would say she's bad, but I see usage of her. So maybe we can argue like Fatima out to like niche or maybe decent, but for now I'll put her at bad. Camille, bad, sorry. I really like her, but she's bad. Okay, Jin Yu Yao, I'll put her at niche because like she does heal. Oh, okay, maybe decent. Like her performance is pretty well with Yukini because of her passive dispel. She will help dispel, she also AP push a lot. But because of the AP push by herself will actually get countered by Yukini. But she does a pretty good job when you need a consistent dispeller. She works well with Yukini team as well. So I'll put her at decent. Clara, I will put her at niche or decent, somewhere here. I use Clara in triple threats because of the AoE heal, the AoE AP push, and also the immunity. But because of the AoE AP push, she also get countered by Yuhime team. Her performance is kind of limited in a way, so I'll put her at niche. Okay, Zhou R6, I'll put him at decent to strong, somewhere here. But okay, I'll put him, let me see. If I have to adjust, maybe I'll put Ethan down 1 tier. Alright, the reason why I put Zhou as strong, he's not actually not that weak in like what we thought, right? In PvE he's gonna be weak, but in PvP I see player actually use Zhou to one-shot people. But Okay, yeah, maybe I'll put him decent. There's a lot of condition for him to work, like the slack body buff, the slack off buff, the overtime buff. He surrounds everything about this. But if you manage to set it up with the overtime stack, then he's gonna be good. Or else he's not gonna be that good. So I don't really have an R6 Johong, but based on my opinion and my observation, I think he's one tier lower than Nora. Because I still think Nora overall usage is better than Johong. Okay, then for TA, I would say it's strong. Like TA in triple threats, I use her a lot. I use her a lot because of the AP swap and the AP push thing. And her rivalry is pretty fast. I'll put her as strong, but if we just talk about like beat bar point war thing, then she's not gonna be strong. So somewhere strong to decent, but I'll put her as strong. Okay, Lapis. I have Lapis R6, and I think Lapis is not gonna be good in PvP because she's a pure PvE expert. Liam. I'll put him at somewhere meta to strong, somewhere here. But overall, I'll put him as strong. Like the double damage is good, the healing for the team is good, the revive, there's a once per turn revive is going to be good, the assist is good. Overall, it's a very good unit to pick in triple threats and if you want to do a pure defender team. Bidao, bad, sadly. Valeria, bad. I even have R6 Valeria. I think I don't really have a lot of usage for Valeria. Ife, bad. Amir, I would say strong. Not until meta tier, but I'll wait. Let me think. Okay, I'll put it at meta tier because she actually counters a lot of team, especially the R6 Jinchu. There's a lot of R6 Jinchu in triple threats, and Amir will counter it. Amir can counter function as well. Because based on how I judge Jinchu and function in meta tier, I think Amir deserves the meta tier as well. Cause he has self heal, he can apply disease. Disease is actually a very annoying debuff to the PvP meta. Okay, then for meta leading, I'll put it at meta. Yes, meta leading R6 is a crazy unit. He have like a very unique shield buff. He have AP absorb. He can rotate his turn a lot more fast. And as long as you can't kill him, he can kill you the longer the battle goes, because his S3 damage is getting higher and higher, and as long as he survives past the first few turn, then he's gonna be crazy. It's a very strong team combo for meta leading, so I'll put him at meta. Momo, WTAF tier, true damage expert with HP scaling, multi-hit, can dispel, cannot get debuff, cannot get control. Crazy. It's a very crazy unit. It's kind of like a Suicide counter, and Suicide can counter her as well. But overall, she's one of the best PvP unit until now. Alright, Sally, I'll put her as strong. I really like Sally of the consistent dispel. It's kind of like Jin Yu Yao, but it requires a little bit of time to set it up. But overall, I will rate Sally higher than Jin Yu Yao. Okay, Fushi, I'll put him as strong. I really like to use Fushi and Embla combo in PvP, especially when you have Fushi R6 and Embla R6. I usually use them to fight like Mavis team, to instantly use Fushi to target on Mavis. Their AI will target on Mavis. Embla applies the corrupted seed. Fushi explode that corrupted seed and explode everyone. So I really like to pair Fushi and Embla together. So I'll put him at strong tier, but I don't think he deserves the meta tier, but I will say it's strong. Abigail, I would say is decent to strong, but I really like to use Abigail currently in my point war team. I'm using the Mingxuo nuke team, which Abigail's come in action. I really like it, but I don't think she deserves higher tier than the other expert here, so I'll put her at decent. Tangshan, bad. Genie, niche, depends on your usage. Like if you want to cook someone up with Genie, then niche. Intisa, I'll put her at bad. Brewster, I'll put him at niche. Like if time to time I use Brewster with Petros together in triple threats, and I want to like nuke them, I can just use Brewster to randomly bomb it out. I'll put him at niche, but maybe argue we can put him at bad, but I will say somewhere niche to bad. Leora, I'll put her at bad. Suje, WTF tier until now. Like the true damage, passive true damage is good. The R6 self revive is good. Help your ally to prevent death, so they can at least cast one time before they die is good. And the true damage is one of the only method to help you kill Mingxuo in the Thunder Clad mode. So yeah, WTF tier, and not to mention the AoE taunt, the AoE puppet art is so annoying. Yamato R6, I would say, is somewhere strong to meta. Is performing very well in Wu Yu team. The extra bonus stats, the AoE heal, the AoE dispel, actually very strong. Depends on your team comp, but overall I would say Yamato is a very strong Esper. Yujing, I would say, is strong as well, not until meta. The reason why I don't put Yujing and meta, because Yujing relies on Lu Shang. And Yujing team is usually you pair with like certain Esper like Ming Shuo or Meta Liling. It's a one Esper carry team, then you use Yujing. And usually in a Yujing team is like a cliff team, like Meta Liling long battle cliff team, or maybe Ming Shuo one shot team, or maybe with Jin Chiu cliff team. Then you're gonna need Yujing, but I don't think she deserves the meta tier like that high, because she relies on Lu Shang. Like if you want to put this combo, then you're kind of tied together. Chu Yao, I would say WTF tier, speed leader buff, AoE dispel, AoE defend break, AoE seer, with R6 can reduce enemy attack and also the enemy shield amount as well, is very good. And the assist, and most importantly the spirit Aegis buff to prevent your Esper getting crit. Gabby, I'll put her as strong, somewhere strong to meta. The reason why is because of the rival rune is very fast. Her divinity give her immunity, so she's gonna be very good in beat bout, knockout, and triple threats. I just can't put her in meta just because personally I don't use her that often. But the moment I use her, it's gonna be something like I'm gonna fight with Tolan team. So yeah, overall I'll put her as strong instead of meta. Nathaniel is WTF tier. It's very crazy. Like if you see Nathaniel Wu Yu team, that's one of the most disgusting team you're gonna face. Like Wu Yu special attack turn, Nathaniel active turn, Nathaniel self heal, and Nathaniel have counter attack chance, and Nathaniel with Wu Yu, Nathaniel have reflection true damage. If you can't survive Nathaniel S3, you're gonna die anyway, and most probably Nathaniel S3 can nuke your whole team. And the only counter to Nathaniel is to control him. That's the only way. So in PvP, definitely worth the WTF tier at R6. Yin Chuan, I would say bad. And Blah, I would say the same tier with Fushi at strong tier, based on my usage. Yukimi, I would say her at meta tier. One of the best speed leader with the effect to counter Feng Shun. Very good combo with a lot of team, especially with Moriyama as well. Archibald, I'll put him in niche. I like to put Archibald with Mavis together in my triple threats team. I like to put Mavis, or like Ollie, Mavis, Ollie, Archibald, Mavis, Iki, then another flex Esper. I like to put Archibald because he can help absorb some damage from Mavis, and I like the Archibald damage. Like I can CD extend them, can taunt them, can do AoE damage, can force them to cast S1. I really like Archibald kit. So overall, I'll put him in niche. Louis bad. Okay, Changji bad. Iliad depends on your usage. He can be niche. It can be bad. If you have warm up match, I would say Iliad at decent. But now we don't really have a lot of warm up match. So overall, I would say niche tier. Right, niche tier. Okay, Fumisuki. I really like Fumisuki, and I'll put her as strong tier. Because the counter attack chance she can do is very annoying, like the 100% accurate stun. She can CD extend you. She has healing in her kit. So yeah, I really like Fumisuki. I like to play with Fumisuki even though she's like not very strong. But if you watch my previous warp arm match, I actually use Fumisuki a lot just for fun. Okay, so then the next one, Mavis, I'll put her as strong. The reason why I put her as strong and not meta tier, because she can be countered pretty easy now because of the now AI. Everyone will focus target on Mavis, and we have Petros in the action as well. So yeah, I'll put her at strong instead of meta. Hayley, I'll put her at niche. It's like a defender Esper. If she dies at the R6, she can also give you the smelting mastery. So overall, I'll say it's a niche instead of bad. Biotina bad. Slon at R6, I will say at strong. Like I like to use Slon R6 as well in triple threats. Like I put her, I know she's gonna die, and when she dies, she's gonna cast S3 for free. Then AoE freeze the enemy, and she deals massive damage as well. So I'll put her as strong. Okay, then Hilda R6 is going to be strong as well. It's still going to be very good as long as the enemy team doesn't provide immunity. They don't have a Feng Shun there. They don't have like Unas or Gabriel Divinate to provide immunity for them. The enemy team doesn't have Esper that don't get control. Then Hilda is the queen. Height after the buff, I would say is decent, cause after the height you can actually get golden realm buff now, but I don't think height will get the strong tier because he still relies a lot of his teammate, especially like Lu Shang, like Chu Yao, all this thing. But most of the time you put Lu Shang and Chu Yao for the other Esper team, so I'll put height at decent. Ashley bad. Lucas niche. I like to use Lucas time to time in triple threats because of the AP down. Very fast rival rune. Is actually performing very well, so I put him in niche instead of bad because I have usage for him. Then for leading, I'll put him at bad. Yukini here, I'll put her at meta. The reason why I can't put Yukini at WTAF, she actually deserves the WTAF tier. But the reason why I can't put her at WTAF is because in terms of rival rune, there's so limited frost set. Cause I want to pair Lien, I want to pair Sakura, I want to pair Zihe with Yukini, and they are not frost set, which makes me limited to some Esper who have frost set rival rune. Just because of that one reason, I put her at meta tier and not one tier higher. If they actually let us able to change our rival rune, I don't care. Maybe they have the preset stats, right? I don't care. Maybe they let us select the stat effect. Maybe I don't want this Esper on win set. Let me change it to Harmony. Then maybe Harmony set provides me lower max HP. I'm still acceptable, right? So yeah, I'll put her at meta tier instead of WTF. R2 Meta Yinchuan meta tier. Yes, he's doing very good in PvP. Like his passive does very well in PvP content. One of the only unit that can reduce Moriyama nuke at the start of the combat. Very good pairing with Wuyu team as well. Wuyu and Tenel team. So yeah, meta tier, especially at R6. Tricky, I'll say Tricky is at niche tier. Then Ozora bad tier. Okay, then the last one, Shimmer. So R6 Shimmer Petros. Based on the Petros usage, I'll say he's at somewhere meta to strong. I'll say he's strong. Okay, but to be honest, Petros one copy is already usable. Mostly you gotta use Petros to counter Mavis. So I'll say it's strong and not until like meta. R6 Cecilia, I see a lot of performance of R6 Cecilia in my club mates. They have like R6 Cecilia, so I saw their performance. It's actually doing meta performance, but I don't have her. I can't really judge much about her. I can't really comment much about her, but overall I would say she deserves the meta tier. Iki WTAF tier, like one of the best damage dealer we can have in the game, even though Iki fell off last time because of the Wuyu appear, but after that we have a lot more Esper in the game now. Iki R6 is a very crazy Esper, and as one of the best example is like I use Mingshaw team to nuke the enemy team and Iki dies, but Iki have invincibility 2 turn on him. He can regain his stack back by using the Avatara stat. So it's actually one of the best DPS Esper for PvP content. Okay, then for Jiang Julie R6, I'll put somewhere Jiang Julie. Let me think. Yeah, I think I'll put somewhere at strong tier. It's performing very well, crazy as well if you go demon mode, and he can just jump on your Esper. Everett, I'll put him at R6 or meta tier or maybe WTF, but I'll put him at meta because the Everett 100% crit chance is a very strong combination with your Shimmer Esper, especially if you pair him with like, I don't know, Mingshaw or maybe Moriyama to counter the Spirit Aegis Esper provided by Chuyao. Nusi, I would say she is kind of like a niche unit now for PvP content, unless you're gonna need Nusi AoE CD extension, or else I would say she's niche. Anna, I would say she's decent. She's doing a pretty good job for if you notice the enemy team doesn't have a multi-hit, then Anna actually can do her job. So I'll put her as decent to strong somewhere here, but I'll put her at decent because I think overall this Esper here have more usage than Anna. Okay, Teva R6. I put Teva as strong. because Taver is actually one of the few units that can actually just one-shot Suizai instantly. I don't have a Suizai, I don't have a Taver R6, but based on my clubmate, which is like Bravel or Zerondo or maybe Gabriel, I saw them using Taver R6 performance fighting Suizai. It's one of the best counter against Suizai as well. So yeah, I'll put him as strong. Not until meta, but I will say it's strong. But maybe he's worth the meta, I'm not sure, right? I don't really have a lot of usage of him, but I'll say it's strong. Wu Yu definitely worth the WTF. Still one of the best team you can have in the game for PvP. Even there's a lot of counter against Wu Yu now. We have a lot of true damage Esper, a lot of Esper that can kill Wu Yu, especially like Zihe. But I think she still deserves it because there's a lot of team like Wu Yu Nathaniel team, Wu Yu Iki team, Wu Yu herself team. Yeah, she's just doing a lot of things. I don't think she's gonna drop until like meta tier because as long as there's defender Esper released in the future, she will always have a potential for it. Moriyama WTF tier, our best AoE, best single target nuker in the game. He can probably cleave any single Esper as long as his attack is higher than your Esper. Zihe WTF tier as well. The only Esper that can help you absorb special turn damage, which is like damage from Momo, damage from Suizai, damage from Wu Yu as well. And she's a very good damage sponge. She can help you damage sponge Moriyama. She's a very good Esper that have control effect to counter Nathaniel as well. So yeah, overall she's a very strong Esper even in PvP. Unas, I would say is at decent or somewhere niche. These two here. Okay, reason why? Immunity set provided by his Divinate, speed leader buff for triple tracks is performing very good. So just by these two reasons, I'll put him at decent, but I don't think I can put him until like strong tier. Then for Mingshuo, personally, I really like Mingshuo. I'll put him at strong to meta tier somewhere these two here, but it's based on the team comp. Mingshuo really needs your team comp. Like I really like using Mingshuo in point war content currently. You can't work with the rival rune, but in point war after tuning, Mingshuo is actually doing very strong. But in rival rune, he's not going to perform that good. But overall, best AoE nuker in my opinion. I'll put him as strong. Raven, I'll put her as strong as well. Like if you want a cleave unit, Raven probably is one of your best unit to go to. But overall, yeah. Then for Tolan, I'll put him at meta. The reason why I don't put him at WTF, like speed is no longer the king now. So, but if you want to have fast speed, Tolan speed is still one of the best. So at meta, I won't say until the highest tier, but meta tier. Champion, I will put her at strong. If you really want to build a cleave team with a strong buff, Champion would be the goal. Alright, so before the finalized version, let me change a bit. I think Anna, I should actually push her up to strong because like when you're out of like choices, like especially in triple threats, Anna is actually a pretty strong choice to go for. Like she can kind of help you solo as long as enemy doesn't have a multi-hit there. Because if I compare with the other Esper that I put in the decent tier, I definitely think Anna is better than the other Esper at a decent tier. So yeah, I think I'll put her up to strong. Then the rest, I think I'll remain for now. So this will be my own R6 PvP tier list for 3.4.20. So you guys can leave down your own comment as well, like which Esper you think they shouldn't be at that tier. Maybe you think Fatima R6 should go higher, or maybe you think like certain Esper, I don't know, like let's say R6 Elite should go down to decent, or maybe only go up. Feel free to leave down a comment to let me know as well, because everything here is based on my own usage and my own perspective. And in terms of R6 in PvP content, I'm not really that good. Like even though I'm at like 20 to 24 or 22 point war, but I'm not really good at PvP team building. So yeah, feel free to share your thoughts as well, but this is what I observed from my clubmate and on my own usage as well. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is Gen MP, Epic Bullet Boy, Sky Elk, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwatts, Rimu, Chani, Antonio Winterspoon, Emu Kragan, Calamity, Rocco Senzions, Jordan Alons, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wardeners, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Chani. Thank you so much for your support.